You said anyone could do it, Mother snapped, her hands gripping a frilly white dress that shimmered like a betrayal. His cheeks burned, heart hammering as he backed away, the room shrinking around him. I'm not wearing that, he shouted, voice cracking, but her glare pinned him in place. Oh, you're wearing it, Emerson. You opened your big mouth, and now you're in this stand still. Shame flooded him, hot and suffocating, as she tugged at his shirt. How had a single careless word landed him here, teetering on the edge of a secret he couldn't let anyone uncover? Soon, he stood transformed, barely recognizing himself in the mirror. From head to toe, he was draped in femininity. White pantyhose clung to his legs, shiny white shoes gleamed under the light, and the frilly dress swished with every reluctant step. Beneath it, the indignity of panties and a bra. His mother's insistence made his skin crawl. A wig, carefully pinned to his scalp, cascaded in soft waves, brushed out so expertly it looked like his own hair. White gloves encased his hands, and a small purse dangled from his wrist, the final straw that nearly pushed him to tear it all off. But just as his fingers twitched toward the dress, his father walked in, his expression a mix of disbelief and resignation. I can't believe you opened your mouth and landed yourself in this mess, he said, shaking his head. Look at you! I didn't volunteer, Grayson shot back, his voice trembling with frustration. His mother, undeterred, beamed. She looks darling, and you know it. Lily, go get ready. We're expected soon. The car ride to the hall was a blur of dread. Grayson slouched in the back seat, his father's steady hands on the wheel, and his mother's chatter filling the silence. As they pulled up to the venue, his nerves spiked, a cold sweat prickling his skin. His mother took his gloved hand, leading him inside, and the murmurs began guests cooing over how cute and beautiful he was. Grayson's cheeks burned, but he kept his eyes forward, replaying the moment that had doomed him. It had started innocently enough, a family gathering buzzing with wedding plans. His cousin Owen, the bride-to-be, had been distraught. Mom, Carol backed out. She signed up for camp, thinking it started after the wedding, and her mom already paid. Now I don't have a flower girl. Grayson's aunt, ever practical, had tried to soothe her. It's not the end of the world, honey. We'll manage without one. But Owen's eyes had welled up. I want a flower girl. Grayson, lounging on the couch, had rolled his eyes. What's the big deal? It's just a girl in a fancy dress carrying flowers. Anyone could do it. The room went quiet, and all eyes turned to him. His cousin's grin was wicked. Didn't he just say anyone could do it? Why not Grayson? He'd look darling, and who would know, except us? I'm not wearing a dress, he'd shouted, but his words fell on deaf ears. His mother had pounced on the idea. You were so sure anyone could do it, Grayson. Why not you? He'd stammered, because I'm not a girl. But his father's calm voice cut through. You said it's just a dress. Sounds like you're volunteering to me. Grayson's protests grew louder, but his aunt was already plotting. Rehearsals, the wedding, the reception, maybe a few bridal showers, she mused, her excitement growing. His father, usually his ally, had wavered. How many days total? He'd asked, and when his aunt estimated just a handful, he'd sighed. Since he can't keep his mouth shut, maybe this'll teach him a lesson. Grayson, you're doing it, and you'll act like a proper young lady, won't you? The weight of his father's words had crushed him. Dad, I don't want to be a flower girl. I won't wear some frilly dress, he'd pleaded, but his father's tone had turned sharp. Don't tell me what you won't do, or it'll get worse. You've been warned about mouthing off before. Take your lumps, do your best, and it'll be over before you know it. You'll laugh about this someday. Grayson hadn't believed it then, and he didn't now, standing in the hall, the dress rustling as he shifted uncomfortably. Back home, his mother had gone into a frenzy, measuring him with ruthless precision. Stripped bare, he'd stood mortified as she noted every inch of him, her tape measure lingering in places that made him squirm. We'll need at least 3 outfits, she'd said, grinning as she and his aunt gushed about how cute he'd be. He'd thought he had months to prepare, but just days later, his mother called him into her bedroom. "Get undressed, honey," she'd said, gesturing to a pile of clothes on the bed, a skirt, blouse, panties, shoes, and a wig box. His heart sank. "The wedding's months away. Why now?" he demanded, his voice cracking. "I'll be dead if anyone finds out. School will be a nightmare." His mother's patience had worn thin. "I need to see how you look, Grayson. We're going shopping for the rest of your wardrobe today, tomorrow, maybe the next day. You've got bridal showers, rehearsals, and the wedding itself. That means multiple outfits, plus casual clothes to get you used to this. No more arguments, get dressed." As she helped him into the unfamiliar garments, Grayson's mind raced, replaying his careless words. How had a single sentence turned his world upside down? The mirror reflected a stranger, and as his mother adjusted the wig, he wondered how he'd survive the weeks ahead, each step in those shiny shoes pulling him deeper into a role he never wanted. The late afternoon sun filtered through the curtains, casting soft shadows across the bedroom as Grayson stood, his shoulders slumped, facing a battle he knew he couldn't win. His mother's voice, firm yet tinged with a hint of pride, cut through his reluctance. "Sydney, you're going to look just darling," she said, her hands deftly adjusting the ribbon that concealed where the wig met his scalp. Grayson, now draped in a denim skirt and a snug top that accentuated the small mounds on his chest, felt the weight of the unfamiliar. The wig's straight strands fell just past his shoulders, parted neatly with short bangs framing his face. Pantyhose made his legs gleam, giving them an illusion of length, while white flats shrank his feet to a daintier size. A bracelet jingled on his wrist, small earrings glinted, and a necklace rested lightly against his collarbone. But it was the makeup subtle yet transformative that shocked him most. Staring into the mirror, he saw a girl who could pass for any of his classmates, and the realization twisted his gut. "Mom," he said, his voice barely above a whisper, "do I really have to do this? I don't want to dress up like a girl." His mother's expression softened, but her tone held no room for negotiation. "Yes, honey, we know. But ever since you started middle school, you've been mouthy, talking back, saying whatever pops into your head. Your friends might get away with that, but we won't tolerate it. When you said anyone could be a flower girl, you meant any girl. But maybe this will teach you to mind your manners and stop being so rude. That's why you're doing this, and I hope you'll take my advice and embrace being as feminine as possible. That way, no one, especially your friends, will ever guess it's you." Her words, resolute like his father's, landed heavily, and tears pricked Grayson's eyes. "Is this what I'll look like at the wedding?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Of course not," she replied, brushing a strand of the wig from his face. "You'll get your hair styled at the salon with the other girls, and they'll do your makeup too." "Why? Is something wrong?" Grayson's throat tightened. "It's just, I didn't think I'd look so. This is awful, Mom." She gestured for him to sit beside her on the bed, her voice softening. "Why? Because you're pretty? If you're worried about being recognized, being a pretty girl will actually help. You said you didn't want anyone to know it's you, right? Look in the mirror again, Grayson. Would any of your friends know that girl is you?" He glanced at his reflection, the stranger staring back, and mumbled, "They wouldn't, I guess." His mother pressed on, ignoring the plea in his eyes. "You know, if you'd been born a girl, we would have named you Noah. How about we call you that when you're dressed like this?" "Whatever," he muttered, feeling like a fool. I feel ridiculous, Mom. I don't think I can do this." She stood, undeterred, handing him a small purse. "Hayden, it's settled. Put your lipstick and some tissues in here, and let's go. I'll grab my purse." Grayson's heart sank. "Go outside?" he asked, panic rising. "Yes, dear," she said firmly. "The clothes have to fit, so you'll need to try them on, especially the dresses. Do as I say, and we'll get going." Walking in the skirt felt alien, the fabric brushing his thighs with every step, but he managed until they stepped outside. His breath caught as he spotted Liam, his next-door friend, strolling up the driveway. Instinct screamed to bolt, but his mother's hand on his shoulder held him in place. Liam's eyes flicked over him, lingering briefly before he asked, "Is Grayson home?" His mother smiled smoothly. "He'll be gone for a while. This is Noah." Liam nodded, said a casual, "Hi," and walked off. Grayson's heart thudded relief that Liam hadn't recognized him, mixed with a strange pang. His best friend had looked at him like he was just some girl, and the thought made his skin crawl. As they drove past Liam, who waved, Grayson stared straight ahead, refusing to acknowledge him. Their first stop was a discount store, where his mother loaded a cart with panties most adorned with delicate patterns, more pantyhose, a few skirts, and several tops. Then came shoes, 3 pairs that felt foreign on his feet. Grayson didn't understand why he needed so much, but his mother's insistence and his desire to avoid drawing attention kept him quiet. At the mall, his mother's voice took on a new tone. "You'll want to blend in completely, Noah, so I was thinking, what about getting your ears pierced?" Grayson's eyes widened. "Do I have to?" he asked, his voice small. "No, but the holes will heal quickly once this is over, and earrings won't hurt your lobes. That's all I meant." He hesitated, then nodded. "As long as the holes heal, I guess it's fine." She smiled, leading him to a specialty lingerie shop, where she announced to the clerk, without hesitation, that her daughter's chest was too small for her age and needed help. Grayson wanted to disappear as the clerk, unfazed, produced a pair of A-cup prosthetic breasts. She showed them to his mother, who nodded, and before Grayson could protest, the clerk adhered them to his chest with a practiced hand. "These are perfect for a growing girl like you," she said. "Just take them off once a month to let your skin breathe. Soon they'll feel like they're yours." Staring at his reflection, Grayson was stunned. The prosthetics matched his skin tone perfectly, seamless unless he looked closely. As the clerk left them, his mother handed him a bra, and he stammered. "What did she mean, take them off once a month?" His mother's face fell. "She told me they attached, but I thought it was tape or something. I didn't know they used glue, honest." Grayson's voice rose. "So I'm stuck with these for a month?" "Mom!" She raised a hand. "Calm down, Noah. I'll ask her to clarify. Get dressed while I do." As he fumbled with the bra, the reality of his situation sank deeper. Each piece of clothing, each step into this role, felt like a betrayal of himself. Yet the mirror showed a girl no one would question. How had his careless words led him here? And how would he endure the weeks ahead, carrying the name Noah and a secret he feared would unravel him? The fluorescent lights of the mall's lingerie shop buzzed faintly as Grayson's mother confronted the clerk, her voice sharp with disbelief. "You said a month. Does that mean she can't take them off before then?" "We didn't plan for this." The clerk, flustered, wrung her hands. "Well, yes, she could, but most of our special girls ones like her don't want them off, and I assumed you knew." "Is this a problem?" Grayson, standing awkwardly in the bra and blouse, felt his cheeks burn as his mother pressed, "What happens if we try to remove them early?" The clerk's tone grew cautious. "The skin could get irritated if you try within, say, 2 weeks. That's the minimum I'd wait, and even then, you'd need to be careful. I'm so sorry, I thought you understood. Please let me make it up to her." "How?" his mother snapped. "Noah's stuck dressing as a girl for at least a month now, something we didn't anticipate. How can you fix that?" The clerk hesitated, then offered, "We carry a special panty for girls like Noah. Worn properly, it ensures she'll blend in perfectly with other girls, no matter the situation, without fear of being found out. I can fit her now, or you can come back in a few days if you need time to think." Grayson's mother, lips pursed, said she'd consider it, paid the bill, and tugged him out of the store, her grip firm but apologetic. "I had no idea they'd glue those on, honey," she said, her voice softer now. "I'm sorry." He believed her, but the reality stung. He was trapped with the prosthetics, no way to hide them, forced to live as a girl until the wedding, still months away. They found a quiet cafe in the mall, the clink of cups and hum of conversation grounding them as they sat with sodas. His mother's eyes searched his. "I guess we're all stuck now, aren't we? I didn't mean for this to happen, but it looks like you'll need to adapt to this new way of life for a while. I know it's tough, but by the time we could safely remove those, you'll need them again for the wedding." Grayson's voice was small. "So I'll have to dress like a girl? All the time?" She nodded, her expression a mix of sympathy and resolve. "It looks that way, doesn't it?" He stared into his drink, the bubbles rising like his growing dread. "It's not so bad being a girl," she added gently. "I'm one, and I turned out okay, didn't I?" He wanted to argue, but the words caught in his throat. Sensing his resignation, she brightened. "Since you'll be a girl longer than we planned, let's get you some jeans, shorts, maybe another skirt, and a few nice dresses for church. Oh, and some low heels to match." Before he could protest, they were back in the stores, his mother piling clothes into a cart, jeans that hugged his legs, shorts that felt too short, a couple of tops, 3 dresses with soft fabrics that felt foreign, and a pair of heels that wobbled under his feet. At home, his bedroom became a battleground. His old clothes, jeans, t-shirts, sneakers, were pushed aside to make room for panties, pantyhose, bras, skirts, and dresses. His mother handed him a tube of lipstick as they organized, saying, "You can wear it if you want." He set it on the dresser, untouched, a silent rebellion. She wasn't done. "You might as well get it over with, Noah. Put on some shorts and go outside until dinner. Ride your bike. Do something normal." His stomach dropped. "Do I have to?" he pleaded. Her tone hardened. "I'm not letting you hide in the house for months. Change and go." He glanced in the mirror, long blonde hair, earrings, the faint sheen of lipstick, and the unmistakable curve of his chest. The boy he'd been was gone, and the thought of facing the neighborhood as Noah terrified him. Liam's earlier failure to recognize him was his only comfort. Reluctantly, he slipped into shorts and stepped outside, the warm evening air doing little to ease his nerves. The prosthetics shifted with each step, a constant reminder of his new reality. He grabbed his bike, the familiar handlebars grounding him as he pedaled down the driveway. Then he saw Eli, a girl from a few houses down, waving enthusiastically. "Hey! I'm Eli," she called. Grayson swallowed, forcing out, "I'm Noah." Her eyes lit up. "You're new here." He nodded, sticking to his mother's script. "I'll be around for a few months, I guess." Eli grinned. "Cool. Want to come to my house? You can meet my mom." Panicked, he mumbled, "I better ask first." Eli waited, and when he relayed the invite to his mother, her face lit up. "That's wonderful, Noah. Go have fun." Spending the day with Eli was like stepping into another world. Her chatter was relentless, every sentence lilting like a question, and her habits giggling, flipping her hair felt alien. When she suggested teasing Liam, Grayson's heart raced, and he refused, steering her away from the idea. Instead, she dragged out her dolls, insisting they play. He fumbled through, mimicking her enthusiasm, and to his relief, she didn't notice his awkwardness. By the time he returned home, the sky was darkening, and his father was waiting, his face stormy as his mother explained the shop's mistake. "I'll sue them," he roared, but she cut him off. "You won't. As bad as it seems, this is a chance for Noah to practice being a girl. You wanted him to learn a lesson, didn't you?" Defeated, his father suggested Grayson stay with his grandmother to avoid the neighborhood's scrutiny, but his mother dismissed it. "Noah's our daughter for now. She played with Eli all day, and Liam didn't recognize her. Why should she hide?" His father relented, but his voice was tight. "Fine, but months is a long time. We should find an activity Noah can join, something to help her fit in." His mother's eyes sparked. "Eli's in some group, Chloe Scarlett, I think. I'll call her mom and see if Noah can join." After dinner, she did just that, her conversation with Eli's mother stretching long. When she found Grayson watching TV with his father, her smile was triumphant. "Eli's part of the Chloe Scarlett group, and they're always looking for new girls. I've made all the arrangements for you to join, Noah. Grayson's heart sank, the weight of his new life settling heavier. Each step, each skirt, each outing, each new friend pulled him deeper into a role he hadn't chosen, and as he glanced at the lipstick on his dresser, he wondered how long he could keep the truth buried. The morning sun spilled through the kitchen window, painting the room in golden hues as Grayson's mother stirred her coffee, her eyes bright with determination. "Noah, we're going to meet the lady who runs the Chloe Scarlett group today," she said, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. "It'll be a wonderful experience, and you'll be with Eli. You'll make new friends, I'm sure." She paused, then pointed a playful finger at him. "Your father's right, though months is a long time. Since you'll be spending so much time with girls your age, maybe we should revisit that shop. The lady mentioned something that could make you look more like a girl down there. It might ensure no one figures out who you are. What do you think?" Grayson's heart sank, his voice trembling. "You mean I'd have to look like a girl all over? Do things like a girl?" His mother nodded, her expression gentle but firm. "She said it would eliminate any chance of discovery, so I'm guessing you could wear anything Eli wears: swimsuits, dresses, anything. And yes, you'd probably need to do things the way girls do. But if you're stuck dressing as a girl anyway, wouldn't you rather be certain no one finds out?" Grayson's gaze dropped to his chest, the prosthetic breasts a stark reminder of his predicament, and he knew she was right. The thought of spending the summer as Noah, undetected by Liam or anyone else, was his only shield against humiliation. Tears welled up, and he nodded, collapsing into her arms, sobbing. He didn't want to be a girl, didn't want to walk down an aisle scattering petals, didn't want his body reshaped to fit this lie, and the idea of joining an all-girls group filled him with dread. The future loomed like a storm cloud, promising terror and shame. His mother stroked his hair, whispering apologies. "Once you get used to it, being a girl isn't so bad. It might even be fun if you let it." That night, he slipped into a long cotton nightgown she'd given him, its soft fabric a quiet surrender to his new reality. The next morning, after pulling on a skirt and top, Grayson and his mother returned to the lingerie shop. The clerk, with a knowing smirk, led them to a display of specialized panties, and Grayson's eyes widened in shock. His mother gasped, but the clerk's smile didn't waver as she gestured to a changing booth. Mortified, Grayson stood frozen as the clerk fitted him with the garment, his mother watching with a mix of curiosity and concern. When it was done, he glanced in the mirror, his breath catching. Every trace of his boyhood was gone, replaced by an undeniable femininity. The clerk's voice was matter-of-fact. "You'll need to use the bathroom like a girl now, don't forget that." The words hit like a hammer, driving home the completeness of his transformation. In mere days, he'd transformed from a boy, still finding his place in the world, to someone who could slip seamlessly into the guise of a girl, unrecognizable in every way. He thought his hair might betray him, but his mother had other plans. On the way home, she stopped at a salon, where the wig was removed, and his natural hair was styled into a short, feminine cut. Without the heavy fall, he felt lighter, but the mirror showed a girl he barely recognized. Defeated, he let the stylist work, his fight drained. Their next stop was Eli's house to pick her up for the Chloe Scarlett meeting. The program's director enrolled Grayson, now Noah, on the spot, handing him a schedule and a list of required uniforms. Eli, thrilled, promised to lend him a couple of hers and arranged for them to work the same shifts, helping real nurses. Grayson nodded along, still clueless about the group's purpose, but relieved to have Eli's familiar presence. Back at Eli's house, she led him to her room, casually stripping down to change into her uniform, a short white skirt and a red and white striped blouse. Grayson hesitated, then followed, slipping into an identical outfit, aware of her eyes on him. "What?" he asked, his voice sharp. Eli blinked. "Nothing, Noah. Sorry, I just thought you were someone else pulling a prank." His heart raced. "I'm not a boy," he blurted, the lie slipping out effortlessly. Eli shrugged. I saw. Let's show your mom. His mother beamed, calling them adorable, and sent them to change to keep the uniforms clean. That night, his father noticed something different about him, his brow furrowing as he questioned Grayson's mother. When she explained the panties, his anger flared, but she shut him down, insisting it was necessary for Noah's lesson. Later, she gave Grayson a quiet lesson on using the bathroom as a girl, and though it felt strange, he managed. The next morning, dressed in shorts and a top, he froze when Liam appeared at the door. The boy's gaze lingered, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. Panicking, Grayson leaned into his role, his voice lilting. Hi, Liam. I'm Noah, remember? Liam nodded slowly. Where's Grayson? Gone for the summer, Grayson replied, the words tasting bitter. Eli and I are in Chloe Scarlett together. Liam smiled. Will I see you around? Grayson shrugged, heart pounding. Maybe. Bye! As Liam walked away, Grayson trembled, the lie to his best friend echoing in his mind. He'd called himself a girl, just as he had with Eli, and the ease of it unnerved him. At Eli's house, boredom set in. He couldn't join Liam to throw stones at trains or tease Eli like he used to. Back home, he slumped into a chair, tears pricking his eyes. There's nothing to do, he told his mother, his voice breaking. I used to have fun, but now... She sat beside him, her voice soft. It'll take time to adjust, honey. How about we invite Eli to the mall? We need to pick out your dresses, and maybe she'd like to come. We'll make a day of it. Grayson hesitated, the idea of buying dresses feeling like a final surrender, but her next words caught him off guard. You love the pool, so let's get you a swimsuit, too. Call Eli and see if she wants to come. As he dialed, the weight of his new life pressed harder. Each lie, each outfit, each step, as Noah pulled him deeper into a world he hadn't chosen, and the promise of a fun day felt like a distant hope against the storm brewing inside him. The summer heat clung to the air as Grayson stood in his room, the mirror reflecting a stranger in a pair of shorts and a top that hugged his altered silhouette. His mother's voice broke through his thoughts, gentle but insistent. Noah, you love the pool. If you're going, you'll need a swimsuit, but I know it's a lot to take in. The idea of wearing a girl's bathing suit sent a shiver down his spine. If he showed up at the pool looking undeniably feminine, there'd be no way to backtrack later, no chance to claim it was all a misunderstanding. His hesitation must have shown, because his mother took his hand and led him to the mirror. Look at yourself, honey, she said softly. Can you honestly say you look like anything but a girl? Tears blurred his vision, and the words wouldn't come. She squeezed his shoulder. Call Eli and see if she wants to go to the mall with us. It'll be fun. Reluctantly, he dialed, and Eli's excited "Yes!" crackled through the phone. His mother took over, chatting with Eli's mom, and soon they were off, picking up Eli and her mother before heading to the mall. Unlike Eli, who bounced with anticipation, Grayson's stomach churned. He'd never wanted to be a girl, yet here he was, shopping for dresses and possibly a swimsuit for himself. Eli's glimpse of him in a bra and panties had convinced her he was Noah, and his lie to Liam had only deepened the deception, making it harder to imagine climbing out of this hole. He forced himself to stay composed, hiding his dread as they entered the mall. His mother, with a tone that brooked no argument, declared that every girl needed fancy underwear for a wedding. They veered into a lingerie shop, the kind Grayson used to sneak glances at as a boy. His mother picked out a sheer white bra with lace trim that hooked in the front, and he tried it on, mortified by how little it concealed. She added two more, one white, one flesh-toned with matching high-cut panties, and he dressed quickly, eager to escape the mirrors. Next was the bridal shop, where the flower girl dress awaited. It was a vision of femininity, white with delicate blue flowers, a lace-trimmed round neck, cap sleeves, and a pale blue ribbon cinching the waist. A small blue bow adorned the nearly floor-length skirt, and as Grayson tried it on for alterations, he felt like he was drowning in ruffles. The fitting done, they moved to a store brimming with party and prom dresses. "You've got at least 3 bridal showers," his mother explained, "and no woman wears the same dress twice when the same people might be there." The logic baffled him, but he bit his tongue, his tension easing slightly after surviving the first fitting. Eli, in her element, darted between racks, pulling Grayson along, and to his surprise, he found himself caught up in her enthusiasm. He chose 2 dresses he liked, his mother picked 3, and after trying them all, they bought both of his and one of hers. At a department store, he acquired black and red heels, tan and white flats, and sandals, while Eli grabbed pink flats. "Let's get Noah's ears pierced," his mother announced suddenly. "I promised her, and she'll need jewelry for the wedding." Before he could protest, he was seated. The sting of the piercing gun, followed by the weight of new earrings, 2 pairs of cheap ones, 2 matching sets for events, and some hair clips. Eli bought accessories too, and then his mother steered them to a sports store, claiming Noah's changes required a new swimsuit. Grayson knew it was for Eli and her mother's benefit, but the truth stung. They bypassed the suits their mothers deemed unsuitable and ended up at a mart where his mother selected 2, a full suit and a 2-piece. Back home, she insisted he try everything on, saving the 2-piece for last. Standing in his room, the swimsuit's snug fit revealed every curve, the top framing his chest, and the bottoms leaving no doubt about his transformed body. Boys weren't supposed to look like this, but he did, and the realization twisted his gut. He stepped out to show his mother, only to freeze as he saw Liam in the living room. "My, that looks wonderful, honey," his mother exclaimed. "It fits perfectly." Liam grinned. "New suit, Noah?" Grayson nodded, voice tight. "Got it today." His mother chimed in. Her old one just wouldn't do anymore. She didn't lie, but her words implied a history Noah didn't have. Liam's eyes lingered. "Looks good on you. You going to the pool?" Grayson shrugged. "Probably. It's the only place around here." "Why?" Liam's tone was casual. "I'm going with my buddy Tom tomorrow and was wondering if you'd be there." Grayson mumbled, "I don't know yet." And Liam left, leaving him shaken. His best friend was starting to see him as a girl, maybe even someone to flirt with, and the thought made his skin crawl. He turned to his mother, but she only said, "It's up to you, honey." His father's arrival cut the tension. Seeing Grayson in the 2-piece, his face cycled through shades of red and purple. "What the hell? How did you never mind? Put some clothes on now." As Grayson slipped into jeans and a tee, he overheard his father's frustrated questions, though the words faded. Outside, he wandered to the street, unsure where to go, and was heading for Eli's when Liam rode up on his bike. "You look a lot like Grayson," he said, squinting. Grayson forced a laugh. "Guess so, we're related." Liam hesitated. "Listen, me and some kids are going to the pool, then Peyton's having a get-together. Want to come?" Grayson's mind raced. He knew Peyton well, but couldn't admit it. "I don't know her," he said. Liam shrugged. "You can be my guest if you want." Grayson wavered. "I'm not sure my mom would let me." Liam grinned. "Ask her. I'll wait." Inside, Grayson casually mentioned the invite, hoping his mother would say no, but she agreed, as long as parents would be present. His father, overhearing, pulled him aside. "Do you realize Liam's asking you out? It's a date with a boy." Grayson's stomach dropped. "No way, Dad. It's just kids hanging out." His mother intervened. "It's not a date. Tell Liam you'll meet him at the pool, but you'll need to come home to change." Heart-pounding, Grayson chose the 2-piece for the pool, reasoning it would cement his disguise. If he was going to convince everyone he was Noah, he needed to leave no room for doubt. As he packed his bag, the weight of his lies to Liam, to Eli, to himself, pressed heavier, each step toward the pool pulling him deeper into a life he couldn't escape. The sun blazed overhead as Grayson, now Noah, walked alongside Eli to the pool, their laughter mingling with the chatter of other girls they joined. He recognized every one of them, but they saw only Noah, a stranger in a two-piece swimsuit that clung to his altered form. The boys, including Liam, kept to their own group, and the girls clustered together, giggling and splashing. Noah dipped into the water once, the coolness a brief escape, but quickly retreated to dry off, uneasy under the weight of curious glances. Later, at home, he slipped into a denim skirt and a pink top emblazoned with "Princess" in glitter, a purchase his mother had insisted on. His father drove him and Eli to Peyton's party, lingering until Peyton's parents confirmed their presence. Inside, Noah felt like an outsider, his boyish social instincts clashing with the feminine role he played. The girls gravitated to one corner, the boys to another, their stares crossing the divide like silent challenges. Peyton nudged him, her voice teasing. "I think Aubrey likes you, Noah." Noah blinked, confused. "Who's Aubrey?" Peyton pointed to a tall boy by the railing, sipping a soda. "He asked about you." Before Noah could respond, Eli chimed in. "Liam likes her too. He's been to her house a bunch already." Noah's stomach twisted. "I'm not interested in boys," he insisted. But Peyton and Eli just laughed, saying in unison, "Sure." He avoided the boys, though Aubrey managed a shy "hi" that left him rattled. By the time he got home, Noah was a wreck. Liam, his best friend, saw him as a girl, and worse, seemed interested. Aubrey's attention only deepened his fear that he was becoming more girl than he'd ever intended. In his room, he stripped down, staring at his reflection. Styled hair, faint traces of makeup, breasts, and a groin that bore no hint of his former self. Cupping a breast, then letting his hand drift lower, he confirmed the undeniable he was a girl in every visible way, and everyone believed it. Days later, at breakfast, a warm sensation in his groin jolted him upright. It wasn't urine, and when he stood, a trickle of red ran down his leg. His mother's eyes widened, and she rushed him to the bathroom, ordering him to undress. His panties were stained red. "Oh, Emerson, you've started your period," she exclaimed. Noah's voice cracked. "That's impossible." "Boys don't have periods." She shushed him, handing him a tampon and explaining how to use it as she helped him clean up. The ease with which it worked stunned them both, and his mother looked ready to faint. Cleaned up and dressed in fresh shorts, Noah demanded answers. His mother, phone in hand, admitted she'd called the shop. "The panties designed to be fully functional," she said, her voice shaky. "There are packets of simulated blood that release monthly. I didn't read the instructions. I thought you were fine. You'll have periods as long as you wear it." Noah groaned, but there was no undoing it. "It'll last a week," she promised, her apology hollow. When he confided in Eli, she revealed she'd had 2 periods already, and the shared secret tightened their bond, making them closer than ever. Monday brought Noah's first day with Chloe Scarlett, wearing a borrowed uniform alongside Eli. At the nursing home, his role was simple: ensure residents had what they needed and offer a friendly ear. The elderly treated him like a granddaughter, their warmth easing his nerves, and by week's end, he found himself enjoying the work. His mother bought him 2 uniforms of his own, and with the period behind him, Noah settled into a routine that felt almost normal. His father's anger cooled, his mother fussed over him, and Eli became like a sister. Liam kept his distance, but watched from afar. Aubrey never followed up, and Noah's life revolved around Eli and the nursing home. The first bridal shower arrived, and Noah wore a fitted blue and white dress, knee-length with white heels, his hair styled in a flip. He'd never attended a shower, but the games and laughter were fun, especially when Owen unwrapped lacy lingerie, blushing as she refused to model it. No one hinted Noah wasn't a girl, no teasing, no sidelong glances. Then Owen handed him a gift. "Every girl needs to feel sexy, Noah," she said with a grin. Inside was a baby blue baby doll nightgown, sheer and delicate, with tiny panties and a see-through bra. The room erupted, chanting, "Try it on!" His mother leaned in, whispering, "Go ahead, honey. If you don't, Owen might wonder, and it'll show you're confident. In Owen's bedroom, Noah shed his dress and undergarments, slipping into the baby doll set. The fabric barely concealed anything, and as he returned, low heels clicking and pantyhose shimmering, the room filled with whistles. Owen, his aunt, and Grandma stared, wide-eyed, as he paraded confidently, his transformation undeniable. He knew some might question the spectacle, but by then, Noah was at ease as a girl, unbothered by their gazes. That night, he wore the baby doll in the family room, the G-string's fit starkly visible. His father nearly choked, his voice rising. "Is this what it's come to?" Noah met his gaze, unflinching, the boy he'd been fading further with each day. The routine of dresses, periods, and Chloe Scarlett had reshaped him, and as he settled into bed, the weight of his new identity pressed down. He was Noah, a girl in everyone's eyes, and the path ahead, bridal showers, rehearsals. The wedding promised to pull him deeper into a life he'd never chosen, yet one he was beginning to navigate with unsettling ease. The air in the family room crackled with tension as Grayson's father stared, his voice booming through the haze of his disbelief. "Our son can wear something like that and look more like a girl than a girl?" His mother's response was sharp, unyielding. "It was a gift, and yes, this is what it's come to. You knew she had to dress this way, so why shouldn't she look the part? Stop harping on it." His father's face hardened. "As soon as the wedding's over, this stops, and I mean it." Grayson, still in the sheer baby blue baby doll, felt a surge of defiance. He looked from his mother's stoic expression to his father's flushed cheeks and said a single word. "No." "No?" his father echoed, incredulous. "What's that supposed to mean?" Grayson's voice wavered, but held firm. "It means I can't go back to being a boy, not now." His father's eyes narrowed. "And why not?" Grayson faltered, searching for words. I think it'd be better to wait. Until school starts, maybe?" His mother seized the opening, her tone soothing but strategic. "She's right, honey. Waiting until the last minute might make the transition back to being a boy easier, don't you think?" Her words hung in the air, a fragile bridge between them. The weeks that followed blurred into a whirlwind of bridal showers, each one a test of Noah's growing ease in her role. She laughed at Owen's playful refusals to model her lingerie gifts, danced with a groomsman her age at the wedding, and spent her days with Eli or at the nursing home with Chloe Scarlett. The residence' warmth anchored her, and Eli's sisterly bond made the routine feel almost natural. But when the day came to shed Noah and return to Grayson, the shift was jarring. With Eli, they crafted a story. Noah was returning to where she came from. In his room, his mother carefully removed the prosthetics and special panty, trimming his hair slightly to nudge him back toward boyhood. Slipping into jeans and a t-shirt felt alien, the fabric coarse against skin accustomed to softness. Walking, gesturing, speaking everything required relearning. The breathy, questioning cadence of a girl had to be unlearned, replaced by the blunt confidence of a boy. For days, Grayson stayed indoors, practicing, hating every moment. The mirror showed a boy, but he missed Noah, the ease of her dresses, the camaraderie with Eli, the way the world saw her. His mother let him keep the clothes, the lipstick, the jewelry, and didn't push for a shorter haircut, sensing his reluctance. School was a slow torture. The girls' laughter, their perfume, their effortless grace drew him in, while the boys' teasing normal, his mother said, a sign of attraction felt like a betrayal. He belonged with the girls, a truth that grew heavier each day. 2 months into the school year, the pressure became unbearable. Alone in his room, he transformed into Noah. A green and white checked skirt, a white top, black flats, makeup, and hair styled with care. The mirror reflected joy, then disgust. He loved how he looked, craved it, but knew boys weren't supposed to feel this way. Tears threatened as he sat on the bed, slipping off the flats, the first step back to Grayson. An hour later, showered and in boy clothes, The weight of denial crushed him. In the kitchen, he grabbed a juice box and slumped into a chair, his mother's voice cutting through his fog. "Honey, is something wrong? You look miserable." He brushed it off. "Nah, I'm all right." Then burst into tears, the dam breaking. She pulled him close, holding him as sobs turned to whimpers, urging him to speak. "I want to be Noah all the time," he confessed, and her sharp intake of breath echoed his fear. How could she be surprised? She'd pushed him to embrace femininity, to become Noah fully. "I knew you adapted well," she said softly, "but I didn't think you'd—" He cut her off, voice raw. "Boys aren't supposed to feel this way, Mom. Forget I said anything. I'll manage." After a pause, she leaned in. "I miss having a girl around. What if Noah visits? You could hang out with Eli, do something fun. How about that?" He hesitated. "What about Dad? He'll be mad again." She smiled. "I'll handle him. Let's plan for Noah to return this Saturday." True to her word, Friday night she set his hair in rollers, and Saturday morning, Grayson became Noah again. He applied makeup with practiced ease, styled his hair, and dressed in a tan and white plaid skirt, a tight white top, pantyhose, and jewelry. The act of stepping out of his room as Noah was exhilarating, though the prospect of going out especially with Eli, who might see through him, sparked fear. As he descended the stairs, his father stood waiting. "Morning, Dad," Noah said, voice soft. His father's eyes softened. "Your mother says you're going shopping?" She nodded. "With Mom and Eli." He nodded back. "Have a nice time," he said, retreating to his bedroom. Her mother adjusted a strand of her hair, then sent her to fetch Eli. But the doorbell rang. Eli was already there. "Noah, it's about time," Eli exclaimed, her tone mock-exasperated. "I thought you fell off the earth." Noah froze. "Hi, Eli." Eli's eyes searched hers. "I've been wondering when I'd see you again. I thought we were friends." Noah stammered. "We are. It's just—" Eli cut her off, voice low. "I've known for a long time who you are, Noah. You thought I wouldn't talk to you? That I'd make fun of you?" Noah's eyes widened, stunned. "You knew?" Eli grinned. "Not at first, but you kept calling your mom, Mom. I figured it out." "So, are we shopping or what?" Relief flooded Noah as they headed to the mall, her mother trailing quietly, letting them roam. Some of Eli's friends spotted them, waving, and before Noah could retreat, they were surrounded. "Hey, Eli!" they chorused. Marion asked, "What brings you here?" Eli gestured. "Noah and I are with her mom, just looking." Her mother added, "Noah needs a few things, especially now that school's started." Janet smiled. "See you later?" Eli nodded. "Maybe." Noah stayed silent, heart pounding, but the encounter passed without a hitch. In the dress section, her mother pulled her aside. "Your father and I talked last night. Given how you feel, we've decided to let you dress up sometimes. That means you'll need a few more things." Noah's breath caught, hope mingling with disbelief. The mall hummed around them, Eli's chatter a comforting backdrop, and as Noah browsed dresses, her confidence as a girl returned. Eli treated her like any other friend, and though her mother's cryptic comment lingered, Noah didn't press, afraid to disrupt the fragile permission she'd been granted. Each step in her skirt, each moment as Noah, felt like reclaiming a piece of herself, even as the shadow of Grayson and the world's expectations loomed just out of sight. The department store buzzed with the hum of shoppers as Noah's mother guided her through the dress section, her voice warm but purposeful. "That's why we're here, Noah. Let's get you a few skirts and maybe a dress, okay?" Noah nodded, a mix of relief and nervous excitement coursing through her. The day unfolded in a whirl of fabrics and colors, 2 skirts, 1 plaid, and 1 solid navy, and a knee-length dress in soft green that felt like a whisper against her skin. Eli flitted between racks, offering opinions with a grin, her acceptance a quiet anchor. By the time they left the mall, Noah's confidence had solidified. the weight of her mother's approval, and Eli's unwavering friendship easing the fear of being found out. That day marked a turning point. Her parents agreed to let her dress as Noah 1 weekend a month, a precious pocket of time where she could breathe freely. Those weekends became her lifeline. Eli and Noah grew inseparable, their bond deepening with each outing. Noah met Eli's friends, navigating their chatter with growing ease, her laughter blending seamlessly with theirs. The monthly ritual rollers on Friday night, makeup and skirts on Saturday morning, felt like slipping into her true skin. For 6 months, this rhythm held, a delicate balance between Grayson's school days and Noah's fleeting freedom. But then puberty struck, swift and unyielding. Noah shot up from 5 feet to nearly 5'5", her frame filling out with soft curves and added weight. The skirts that once fit comfortably now clung tightly, their hems creeping higher, and her tops strained against a chest that no longer needed prosthetics to look feminine. Standing in her room, Noah tugged at the too short plaid skirt, its snug fit a stark reminder of her changing body. The mirror reflected a girl undeniably so, but one whose clothes no longer matched her reality. Her mother noticed too, her eyes lingering during one of Noah's weekends. "We'll need to update your wardrobe, honey," she said gently. "You're growing, and those skirts aren't doing you justice." Noah's heart raced, a mix of gratitude and trepidation. The idea of new clothes thrilled her, but it also meant confronting how deeply her body was aligning with Noah, not Grayson. At school, Grayson struggled to suppress the habits he'd honed as Noah, the sway of her walk, the lilt in her voice, while the girl's effortless femininity tugged at him, a siren call he couldn't answer. Eli, ever loyal, never wavered, but Noah wondered how long she could straddle two worlds before one claimed her completely.